is AJ Yates, and I am a presidential director with Bellame, and I'm so excited to share with you some things tonight. I'm sharing with you 10 reasons why I chose Bellame and still choose Bellame every single day. And then also, I'm going to share a lot about my story, and I'm actually sharing a lot that I've probably never shared publicly before. So I'm excited, kind of nervous, because a lot of things that I'm talking about tonight I've never shared before. Maybe on my stories and stuff, but never in video format or anything. So I'm going to just kind of lay it all out there and be very transparent and open with you guys and just have a conversation. That's why I showed up in sweats, because we're just gonna be friends tonight and hang out, right? So nice to meet you too. Okay, so first, before we get started on everything, I do have I have notes, hold on a second. I have a few disclaimers to make. The first one is this is going to be a deep dive. So this is gonna be one of those calls that I'm really getting into kind of like the research aspect of why Bellame. And so if you have a brain that's like I remember whenever I was researching Bellame, I literally looked every single video and I looked up anything I could find because I was just hungry for information. And so that's kind of what this is going to be tonight. It's for those people. If you are someone that's like overwhelmed and just information's too much, talk to the partner who invited you to this, because we have short videos that just do like the brief overviews. But I am really going to kind of like deep dive into some things tonight and just talk about some business stuff and some things that I researched and why I made this decision. So kind of want to throw out that first. My next thing, I want to have a few disclaimers just real quick before we get into it. Any income that we talk about tonight is not guaranteed. It's all up to you and your leadership abilities, your work ethic, and what you put into it. It's an incredible opportunity, but it does nothing if you don't take it. So have to put that out there. Also, this video is a team video. This has no affiliation with Bellame Corporate. And the last one, I have to share this. You do not have to do a pretty slideshow to be successful in this business. I do, because that's my brain and I am ADD. And if I don't have something guiding me, I will end up in somewhere else. That's just how I am. But the cool thing is that anything I do, I try and turn it into a resource, right? So for one, this video is going to be recorded and in our pages and stuff, so you can tag people in it. But also I'm going to kind of delete the personal information on this, and this kind of deck will be available too. So you can go in and just change things and make your own, put your reasons why and all that if you ever want to use what I create. So you don't have to have this crazy thing to get started in this. So I want to make that disclaimer first. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and kind of share a little bit about my story. And so if you follow me on Instagram, I did make some stories last night that were a long time coming of just sharing my story. And the reason why I did that is because I was working on graphics with all this, and I was like, might as well post it and talk about my story. And I was shocked at how many people responded saying they had no clue. They had no clue. And so I'm just excited to share that with you tonight. So if you follow me on social, this might be a little bit redundant, but it's okay. So first of all, I am a wife. We have met 7 years ago this week. We've been married for 6 years as of next month. Yeah, we got married very fast. And then I have a 6-month-old baby boy. He's our first. And so that's part of my whole why with this, is being able to stay at home with him and work with him every day. And I'll share more about that in a little bit. I'm also a full-time social settler. This is all I do. Eat, sleep, breathe it. And so that's what I do and who I am and the basics of it. So now I'm going to kind of go into a timeline, and this is messy because I kind of copy and pasted from my stories, but we're going to go through a timeline of my story real quick, because I want you to, everything sounds like an overnight success with anything, right? And you don't see crazy sleepless nights, or you don't see the ups and downs and the bends in the road and all those things and the hard decisions and everything. And I kind of want to share some of that with you tonight, so you can understand why I'm here, why I believe it, and why my vision. So I have photos. I brought show and tell. So I started in health and wellness, actually, and I started without even knowing that I had started. I was with a health and wellness company, and it's because it was right before we got married. And so we've been married for almost 6 years, and I've been in this industry for 5. So I was using the products to get in shape for my wedding, and I didn't even really know what I was in. It was just kind of whenever I talked to the person, they signed me up as a wholesale customer, and I was like, cool, Sam's Club, Costco, whatever. And so then after my wedding, like months after, like 6 months after probably, I started sharing some like photos and just sharing what I love. My first check was like $32. I need to go back and find that because I probably can find it somewhere. And I remember where I was when I got that email, and I just sat there and I was like, what could I do if I tried? Like this happened without me trying. What could I do? And I didn't have a big following on social. I just had friends from high school. I just had, sorority sisters. I just had warm market. I didn't have a following. And so I had to start from nothing and build up, right? I knew nothing, but I became a scholar of the industry. I was working full time, and I lived 45, 50 minutes from work, hour with traffic in Charlotte, if you know Charlotte traffic. And so I would listen to YouTube trainings and legitimately, I'm not even kidding you, CDs, like packs of CDs of training of this industry. I listened to everything because I was like, I'm gonna be a student of this industry. And I had some success, but not like crazy success. And I was spinning my wheels. And I realized that one of the problems with health and wellness in a company that's just health and wellness is that a lot of people want to join, and then they want to wait 6 months, have results, and then start their business, right? Which is great for your customer base, but what about building a business, right? And so I was, I've always been into beauty. I've always loved all things beauty. My grandmother started taking me to get my nails done when I was like 7, I swear. And so I don't think I've ever missed my nails except, a few times since I was 7 and I'm 32. And so I've always been into beauty. And so feeling like I could share beauty was, that was appealing to me. And I was like, maybe my network will, like that more. And so I made the tough decision to switch companies. And the reason why I liked it was that it wasn't asking someone to completely uproot their lives, change their habits. You didn't have to babysit what they were doing. You just asked them to take what they're already using and switch it with something better, right? And so that's why I loved beauty. I loved health and wellness, but the business side of beauty, I thrived on, right? And so that's where some of these photos come from. I earned my car in like less than 2 months. And this is with a different company. I'll get there. Like I said, I'm sharing things tonight I don't think I've ever shared publicly before. And I was the first person in North Carolina to hit the top tier of leadership. So I basically brought that company to North Carolina. And it was a whirlwind, and it was incredible. I was making multiple 5 figures a month at this, right? And we were on top of the world. I was traveling the world. I earned the Cadillac. I did all the things, right? And then the company started having product issues. And if you know, I'm never going to put a name out there because I will never hurt people's businesses. I will never slander a company. I'll never anything. Although slander means it's not true, but I'll never do that. But I will share my truth. And I'm going to share my story tonight because I feel like it's been a long time coming that I've never just gone out there and said, this is my truth. People can believe what they want, but this is my truth. And that's why whenever I gave the disclaimer of this is going to be a deep dive into business, this is not just wanting an overview of business. This is a deep dive, right? And so I had at the time 17,000 customers on my team, right? Customers. And I was dealing with issues left and right and left and right and left and right. And I was still working full time. Well, at the beginning of it, I quit so I could focus on it full time. And that time of my life is kind of almost like a blur because it was pretty heartbreaking. It was pretty hard because I'd put everything into this company. And I kind of got to that point that I was like, if I cannot feel confident about my mother using this or my husband using it or anybody using it, how can I sell this? How can I put my name on this? And I started feeling like a fraud, and I started just feeling all of this stuff, right? And so I'm a business person. I started thinking about other options because not only am I a business person, but I am a Christian woman and I stand by my morals, and I will never put my name on something I can't believe in. Right. So I had to make that decision of what I was going to do. So I looked into a few things, and that's where this next slide comes up. This is my timeline of my life, right? It's messy, but here's my timeline. So this Chick-fil-A thing, I literally applied to open a Chick-fil-A. And I got through like the first 3 rounds because they wanted like, my family's always owned a business. And so they wanted like business experience and all this stuff. And they wanted women and whatever. So I got through all of it till I started finding out stuff. Like, and I don't know how it is now, but then you can't will it. There's income cap. You have to physically be there. And I'm like, no, this isn't what I'm used to, right? And so I kind of went back and forth. Like, I loved this industry, but I didn't know what to do. I was making multiple 5 figures a month, but then I felt dirty accepting the money. And I knew I needed to make a decision, but I didn't know what to do. I've never felt so stuck in my entire life. But I believed in the industry. And so I interviewed companies, right? I flew out to Salt Lake and met with a company, and they offered me $20,000 a month for a year to come work with them. And I walked into the bathroom. I literally looked at the CEO in the face, or I don't know, VP of sales. He was something. And I said, if your company is so great, why do you have to pay people to come over? And he couldn't give me an answer. And then I went to the bathroom, and they had some of those products sitting out. And I tried the products, and I was like, this is like Johnson & Johnson. Like, I cannot. If I'm going to do this, it has to be the perfect company, right? So I then messaged, or I remember being on a plane, researching like crazy, and I found Bellame. And I emailed hello@bellame.com. And I wasn't expecting the CEO to answer, but she did. And if you know Melissa, that makes sense, right? But I didn't know Melissa at the time. It didn't make sense to me. So then we got on a 30-minute Zoom, which turned into 3 hours. Imagine that. And she'll say this. She said it's a conference. She'd never been grilled so much in her life, because I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted for my customers, for my team, for people that believed in me. I knew what I was looking for, and I was not going to settle, right? And so she sent me a cleanser, and I tried that cleanser, and I was like, dang, this is like the luxury brand. Like, this isn't just cheap stuff, right? This is like and I don't know if I'm allowed to publicly like name drop stuff, but this is like the Chanel of the social selling industry, right? And something that I could put my name on. And so one cleanser, it's all I was paid. I wasn't paid a penny to come over. I wasn't given a team. I wasn't given a single partner. To this day, I've never been given a single partner, right? I came because I saw the vision. I saw everything. I saw what it was. And so then I had to start over, right? And so then this is one of my first posts on Instagram here, the God is with her one, because I had to completely start over, because I was in legal contract with my former company, and a marshal showed up at my house with a cease and desist letter and said I couldn't use my social, I couldn't do anything. And so that's why I have 2 Instagrams, I have 2 Facebooks. That's why I have all that stuff, right? And so I was feeling really, really down about this industry. Like, is this what it is, right? And so that's why I was looking into Chick-fil-A, because I was like, I don't know that social selling, like, I don't know. I was questioning it. But then I found Bellame. And Bellame is so different. It's been different since day one. And that's just where my story began. I feel like my story began on that day, that everything was kind of like a stepping stone to get me where I needed to be. It was trials and tribulations to make me a better person and a better leader, to know what to look for, to know that quality. I'm going to talk about this. I haven't even gotten into my 10 reasons yet. I'll do it fast, I promise. But to know what was important to me, and to know, what I was looking for, right? And to believe in it. And I would not just join anything out there after the experience that I had. People have been burned in this industry a lot, and it's because it's being done wrong. And so whenever I found Bellamy and I found Melissa, I was like, we have the chance to do it right. We have a chance. We have a clean slate. Let's do it right. And that's where we are. And doing things right, and loving people and loving them despite their decisions of what they want to do, and supporting them. And that's what I believe in. And helping people, not just the people who are the tippy top making millions of dollars. It's the new partner that just came in that matters just as much. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for equal playing ground for all people. So then after that, we launched that August. Our team hit platinum, which was the top rank at the time, in 21 days. It was insane. Meanwhile, I couldn't use my social media because I was, being, legal action and stuff. And so that was in 21 days. And so then whenever Bellamy launched Presidential, the next July, that is when our team hit Presidential, which is the top rank of the company. So like I said, a lot of people see overnight success stories, and there's a lot that goes into it, but aligning with the right people, the right products, and we'll talk about that, the right opportunity and everything is step one. That's step one, is making the decision of the right place, right time. So now my husband got to retire. I say retire. He was able to quit because he was working. We didn't, we only had weekends together because he worked till like 9 o'clock late at night. And so he quit that and was able to do real estate from home. So we both work from home together. So that's fun. And so we get to travel together. When I was in that company, I had earned all these trips. He wasn't able to come with me because he was still working. And so now this is where, we're able to travel together, be able to go all over and see leaders succeed, and see the growth of this brand, and see all of and I'll go into that. I'm trying not to like give away things I'm about to talk about, but to just see the journey of where we're at, right? And so now I get to be home with little man. I still work. This is not just like, this is a business, right? But I get to walk out and hold him whenever I want to, right? I'm not away from him. So that's a little bit of my story, and I'm going to share a little bit more in detail as I go over a few things, because I just wanted to give the context first, and then we'll talk a little bit more as we deep dive into some stuff. But I'm going to try and go through these as quick as possible. My goal is 45 minutes. Like I said at the very beginning, I gave the disclaimer that this is going to be a deep dive, right? Not just a overview. We have those. So if you don't want a ton of information, you can ask the partner to send that invited you to this to send the overview stuff. So let's dive into the 10 reasons why. So the first one is vision. Okay, so this photo is actually a photo that Melissa texted me whenever she had just met with beauty companies, right? And so we don't have yellow eyeshadow. That's not our eyeshadow. But it was just, she had just met of saying like, look at this. Like, this is our 4 skincare company, or our 4 skincare products. And we're looking into beauty and stuff, right? And so that's kind of like, I love that photo because Melissa, texted it saying, look, like this is our future, right? And if you saw the screenshot of my first conversation with Melissa, I asked Melissa in that screenshot on a few slides back, I said, are you always going to be skincare? Are you going to go into other areas or beauty? Or I said something. And the reason why is because I didn't want to be with a company that was going to be, pigeonholed into one brand or to one line. I wanted, for example, so think about this. If someone doesn't like, or not every person can use every product out there, no matter how phenomenal that product is. I don't care. Any product out there, someone cannot use it, right? And so if someone isn't a fan of the skincare, they have the makeup. And if it's not the makeup, then it's the nutrition. And then, it's like having different things you can serve people, and you're kind of like a one-stop shop, that you're not just like, oh, I don't like your hair care. sorry, I'm not buying them from you, right? Like I wanted a brand that was going to be multiple things and have different categories. So the vision, luxury lifestyle brand, that means everything, right? Bellame beauty and hair care. We're gonna have hair care. Bellame body, so that's nutrition. So collagen, energy, hydrate, protein. Sure, there'll be more after that, right? Bellame baby, so a whole line of baby and more. So Melissa's goal is that everything that when you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed, everything that you touch is going to be Bellame, right? So that means that it's products that can be for everyone in the household, not just women. My husband loves a lot of our, obviously he's not a fan of our cosmetics, but he loves our skincare, and now he's obviously loving our wellness line as well. And so being able to have different lines. So you remember whenever I was talking about health, right? So my problem was the whole wanting a before and after crazy transformation for coaching programs and for different stuff out there, right? You want that story. That can be hard, right? And so we have other products to kind of like supplement that people can focus on the beauty and then start a journey of the wellness and show like, this is my day one taking collagen. Look at my results as the time goes on, right? So you don't have to wait for those huge before and afters. But the cool thing is that with wellness, and this is why I really, when we started talking and she told me she wanted to go into body, as a business, like I said, deep dive into business. This is like you picking someone's brain that researches everything, right? The business side of wellness means recurring orders every 30 days, right? Every 30 days. If you are with just, and then multiple. So for example, my husband and I are obsessed. Now we use Bellame's, but we've been obsessed with Liquid IV. And we have bags and bags of that shipped every single month for both of us to use, right? We fight over guava. And so it's something that the household uses every 30 days. Beauty, a palette can last how long? Forever, right? And so, especially ours, because it's good quality stuff, right? A lip stain, a lipstick, all that stuff can last forever, but they complement each other. That someone's checking out with this and they add this on, or someone's interested in a lipstick, but then, oh, wait, they have collagen. Oh, wait, they have energy. Let me add energy in. And so you're not just pigeonholed into just a wellness or just the other, right? Or just beauty or just hair care or just whatever. You're getting a little bit of everything. Beauty, something that, like I said, take something out of your shower, take something off your counters and swap it with better ingredients, better quality, better prices, right? And so beauty has that. So marrying that together makes a stable, healthy business. And we'll talk more about that in customers in a minute. I have notes because, like I said, ADD. So if you see me looking down, I'm like, let me just make sure I covered everything. Also, the vision of going international. So we will be going international. I'm not giving dates, but we're going to be going international at some point. So just the vision of what was to come. That was my number one. That is why I joined. Well, not the only reason. Obviously, there was 10. But the vision of what was to come, number one. Number two, water break. Okay, number two is a huge one for me. You remember the story that I just told you? Products and quality. And I put that together because our products, and I had before and afters on here, but I was like, you know what? Y'all can go to bellame.com, click on results, scroll through, read all the testimonials, all that kind of stuff. The results speak for themselves. The quality, just holding a product in your hand, you can tell the quality of the packaging. You apply your makeup or whatever you're doing, you can tell the quality, right? So that's front end of it, right? But let's talk about quality overall. And I should have put this on here too. Products, quality, and transparency. Okay, so I'm going to deep dive a little bit more into this one. The other ones are not going to be as long, I promise, but I'm going to deep dive into this. So I told you that I had 17,000 customers on my team at my former company. And whenever the product issues started, a lot of customer service issues, right? And I can't believe I'm telling you guys this, but it's time, right? I need to tell my story. Um, I have screenshots from corporate text messages. They're still on my phone. I don't delete anything. I have like text messages from like 2003 probably. But I have text messages from corporate telling me that there was bad product. And I would send photos. Oh, it's probably bad product. I have photos of their number one income earner to this day, photos of them having problems with the product, right? And I got to that point. I told you, I got to that point that I couldn't sell it myself. Like I could not, if my mom can't buy it from me, how can I sell it to anybody, right? And so my sales were diving because I lost confidence in it. And apparently that's why I left, right? And so then I got on a call, and this is huge, right? I got on a call with their CEO because that's how frustrated I was. And he said to me, would you have rather us gone out of stock for 4 months or sub ingredients? And I was like, I kind of chuckled. I was like, gone out of stock, right? Like that's the right thing to do. Or when issues happen, own them, fix them, apologize, own up to your mistakes, and move on. Don't make people feel like they're crazy, right? So when I met Melissa and she told me, and this happened before me, right? So this was happening during like when Bellame was launching, or not launching, but like gearing up to launch. When she told me that they delayed an eye cream because it wasn't up to quality and it pushed back the launch. And then, if any of you were here then, when you remember that we boomed, like at the beginning, we boomed, right? And whenever we were trying to get our products back in stock, I think it's the eye cream again. I can't remember which product it was. It's one of the skincare products. We go through layer after layer after layer after layer after layer of testing. And it was like testing beyond what was required for just general sale, right? Our testing was beyond that. And I don't even remember what happened, but something along the lines where it didn't pass something. Melissa got rid of it all. And that spoke volumes to me because your customers and the people that are using your product are more important than the bottom dollar. And I will believe in that until the day I leave this earth, right? And so I wanted to be with a brand that quality was everything, not the dollar. I didn't want to be with leaders that would boldly share a product, but then in private Facebook groups, post photos of it bothering them, right? I couldn't. I just could not. So whenever I started this journey and then being with Melissa, as close as I've been with her over the past few years, and seeing every product launch and seeing everything that goes into it, if it is not perfect, if it is not, if the queen can't wear it, like it's not going out there. And that's so important. And I don't know that you ever can realize unless you've been in that situation how important that is. But from a business perspective, if you are putting your name on something, it feels horrible when something out of your control is hurting another person, right? So quality control, transparency, being open about products, being open about everything. That was huge for me. So another thing, and I am totally like swerving into the other lane now, being inclusive, right? Like I wanted a brand that was inclusive of everybody. So I remember talking to Melissa, the very first conversation that we had about beauty. She was like, it will be for all skin types, all skin colors, all ages, everything. And I was like, yes. We have 20 shades of foundation, 10 shades of concealer. There are some brands that are out there in Macy's and Nordstrom and Neiman and all the places, right, that don't even have 20 shades, right? But we wanted to go from this spectrum to this spectrum because everybody deserves good products, quality products, and the best of the best, right? And so inclusiveness. I said before and afters, so go to bellame.com, go to results, making sure I have everything. Oh, I do have a screenshot for you. So speaking of products and quality, I can't share my numbers, but I did block out the, some information, and I want to share with you right now. Since the day I joined, from then until now, you want to see how many return, and I've done multiple 5 figures in personal sales, right? Me selling to a customer, right? Multiple 5 figures. I want to show you how many returns. That's how many refunds, right? Like that's how much money I've had to give back, not give back because it takes out your check. It's like a clawback, but that's how much that's what's taken out of my check, and all of the customers and all of this stuff that, if anything I've sold, that is the return rate. That's insane to me. So for me, like obviously I'm very passionate about this. I went from a team of 17,000 customers where I was the customer service agent because it was a 6-hour wait to get into customer service and nobody was getting help and everybody was returning their products. And it was an insane time of my life, to $37.24. Like I feel like I can just drop the mic and just walk off now. Just kidding. I'm on number 2. Okay. All right. Number 3, talked about them a little bit, but corporate leadership was number 3. If you know them, you love them. You can't know them and not love them. Melissa and Scott have hearts of gold. Yeah. And they care about, like I said, the people over the bottom dollar. They truly do. And I have been blessed to be able to know them personally and see them off the stages and see them behind closed doors. And it's the same people, that are out there. And transparency, being open with you. And I feel like she has chats with people starting at, just a few ranks in. She has calls with partners and directors. Your voice is heard. And so leadership, obviously I shared my story about connecting with Melissa. Clearly, like she was one of my reasons why I was like, I'm not settling. And she's, a huge part of the reason why I chose Bellame. So now fast forward. It just told me my meeting is being recorded, but it has been. So hopefully we're good to go. But now fast forward and we're expanding our team, which is so awesome. So we have brought in Susan, and Susan she sent me like this really professional photo of her. And I was like, I want to use like the down to earth photo of you because you are someone that literally can be friends with anybody. So I'm going to use this one of you. But she was VP of sales at 2 companies, and one of them was including Mary Kay. And she had a Asia Pacific management team, and she just sales and marketing. And then she has 30 plus years of experience in this industry. She actually was just announced at our recent conference, but just her knowledge and even just the aura that she brings into the room, I'm like, yep, you're Bellame. So leadership team. Also, I don't have them on here, but remember how I talked about hair care? So in this office somewhere, I do have a few like trials of different things and whatnot, but we're like, we got to nail it or don't do it at all, right? And so we've actually brought in an R&D scientist, research and development, and she is focusing on growing those lines. We also have brought in chemists and brought in like just this whole team to make sure that our product is the best quality. So we have the best quality from the products, the leadership, the VP of sales, the R&D. We have the scientists coming in, and it's just like this collaboration of brilliant, brilliant minds to build this brand. So that is number 3. Amanda says, I'm not going to count the zeros, but I'm just going to say 1,000,000% the most amazing humans. Okay, water break. 1 second. I warned y'all. This is a deep dive. Okay, number 4, the timing. So I have a couple slides here, and we're going to go to the next one. So I'm sure if you've been in this industry for any amount of time, you've probably seen this at some point, right? Where there's this thing and it goes up and the saturation and it declines, right? So I'm going to share with you my my opinion of this industry and what happens. And that is more like this, right? That you have this like up, might go down a little bit, but with the proper company, pause, proper company that is expanding new products, new lines, new everything, it's going to go up. Black Friday goes up, new product goes up, right? And I truly believe that you can join any company later on after its prime and make an income, right? But I will say it's probably, I wouldn't say easier, but think about it this way. If you go out and you start talking to 10 friends and 9 of them have an aunt that sells this or a sister that does this or whatever, right? You're bringing the opportunity that you have with Bellame, you're bringing this into those 10 people. I'd put, a few dollars on, probably a few $100 on the fact that none of them have even heard of it before. My hairstylist a few months ago, I asked her if she had heard of the brand and she was like, yeah. I actually bought from it. And I was like, and then I just kind of like left it because I'm very like, if someone, I don't mess with other people's partners or customers, right? And so I was just reaffirming her of the products, right? Today I went and got my hair done and she was like, girl, I got confused. It wasn't Bellamy. It was something Bella, right? And it wasn't even in the social selling space. And so she had no clue. So I was kind of like, whoa, people know about it. Nope, she had no clue. So you're kind of in that timing now of before everybody knows about it, right? Doesn't mean you can't be successful later on. I do not believe in that. But it's kind of like you can be, remember how I said I was the first person that brought my last company to North Carolina? You can be that person, right? You can do that but just because you join doesn't mean you're going to be that first person that does that, right? It's the hard work, it's everything that goes with that. But I want to talk about timing, right? So when I joined my former company, and the only reason why I even bring this up is because I want you to kind of like think, I'm trying to paint a picture for you, right? So I joined when there was 15,000 customers or 15,000 partners in the company. And I was able to hit basically the equivalent of like platinum here in 4 months, and less than 15,000, right? We have less people in Bellamy now than when I joined that company and was able to make my first 6 figures in under a year. Just gonna leave that out there. So timing. I know there's this thing here. I feel like we're probably, if I had to pinpoint on the scale, we're probably about right here-ish, that this is a very, very, very sweet spot, okay? So with that, I'm gonna show you this map that I put together this week. So this is the current director map. Director in our company means 3,000 team volume. Other companies, it means hundreds of thousands of volume. So I wanna clarify, that means 3,000 in team volume. So if you can find your state, you can see that even if you are, what is even the most state? We'll take Texas, for example. It's not the highest, but we'll take Texas. 68 people in all of Texas have had 3,000 in team volume at some month in the history of Bellamy being open, right? So what does that mean? That means that there is so much room for growth. I feel like sometimes a lot of people, especially people that probably follow me and see us like at this event and we're traveling here, we seem so huge, right? And we've had incredible success. Experts told Melissa, you needed 500 people at this rank if you were lucky in your first year. And we blew past that, right? We've had success. But where we're at in our company is like, we are literally like this big in regards of where it will be at in over the next 10, 15 years. The millionaires are going to be made over the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, right? We haven't even started. So with that, there are only 4 people at the very top of this company, right? Allie and myself are both in North Carolina, and Bree is in Idaho, and Jan is in Virginia, right? So remember how I said I was able to bring I was the first at basically, I would say probably the equivalent of that rank in North Carolina and making six figures, right? That's kind of like the opportunity of where you're at now. And the difference is it's with the right company, the right products, the right quality. And you have a lot of people like me and your other leaders that have learned what not to do and how to properly build and support and how to do this, right? So that's the difference. But all of this is fine and dandy and amazing, right? But how do you have a healthy business? And I'll have some little bit of training in here because if you join, I will always train during the onboarding process. I'll say, this is the link that you're going to send to your partners when you join, right? So I'm training you right now. A healthy business is customer focused, right? And Bellame is customer focused. So that's number 5. I was watching a documentary about a company, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, not customer focused, right? And that's where you can get into shady things, right? Customer focused is so important for a brand and building that customer base. First step is quality products. We talked about that, right? So we have Bellame. We have a customer program. You can take a screenshot of this if you want to look at this later. It's also on the Bellame website that you can go and just go click on perks, and all of this is outlined. But everything from free shipping, 10% on orders, you get 20% off your first purchase, birthday savings, advanced product reviews, all the saving pass. Every dollar that you spend adds up basically like points or dollars that you can use on future products, right? And then also the return rate. And you saw we have a good return rate. And so you saw my numbers of how much has been returned in my time here, right? Hold on a second, I'm getting text messages, so I want to make sure that we're still going because the whole recording thing kind of threw me off. Okay, we're good. So another part of the customer focus thing is it's not customer focused just on the products, but it's also on it's the customer having the flexibility and putting their needs first, right? So not being locked in to customer programs is huge. Not having to have someone have to purchase 3 times, or they'd have to pay a fee, or they'd have to do this, or there's no locking in, right? To get this column here, which is the best perks, you can either buy a yearly pass for 25 bucks, but I don't have anybody really do that. I have people put one product on auto replenishment, and it could be every 90 days. They can go in, they get an email letting them know that it's about to go out. They can edit it, change it, delete it, push it back, whatever. There is no locking people into it, right? So as long as you check your email, you're not locked into anything. And that was huge for me, and still is huge for me. So I said free shipping, money back, all of that. The next thing is that being customer focused is that affiliates are welcome. So you can actually rank up, I believe it's 4 times through the comp plan. Yeah, 4 times without recruiting a single person. You don't have to have a team if you don't want a team. You can make a significant income. So I shared a reel about how I had a snapshot of my Amazon dashboard, and I had sold like 2,000 something in sales, and my commission was like $86, right? And so I'm starting to do the math on that, and I'm like, that would have been 800 some dollars if I had gotten those same retail sales on my Bellame account. So influencers can do this. We can be influencer focused where you don't have to build a team unless that's what you want to. And that's one of the like amazing things about Bellame is that you build your business how you want to, whether it's products and you just want to focus on selling, if you want to focus on team building, or if you want to focus on both, you can build businesses and make an incredible income. And, you know, when you really look at like what influencers are making, I saw someone today I follow has huge following, thanked her followers for, she shared a whole thing of skincare products and a very popular skincare line. And her next slide today said, thank you for supporting me and using my links. I may only make around 10 cents a purchase, but I appreciate you using my links as every little bit counts. And I'm sitting there like, wait, what, 10 cents on a purchase? What? So get with the partner who invited you to this call. They can explain the sliding scale of retail purchases and all of that kind of stuff. Starts at 25%, goes up to 40% based on where you end the month. The more you sell, you kind of unlock layers of deeper pay and profits on that. So interesting. So someone just said, you made me buy a brand, right? Of lip plumper. And they actually, sitting back here, they sent me a free product. They want me to do a reel on it, and I just haven't had time to do it. But I wasn't paid anything. They gave me a discount code. I have a discount code now. They gave me a discount code for my followers, but I'm not getting a dime off of sharing that. And I had like, by the end of the time that I shared that product, I had 90 clicks on that link, and I did not get a penny from that. You know, so it's like what we're already doing. So why not get paid on it, right? Okay. So next thing, you can screenshot this. I'm not going to go through this, but this is what I was talking about, the sliding scale. So just take a screenshot real quick, especially if you're interested in just the selling aspect of it. So sorry you've had to listen to the whole business side of it if you're at this point. This kind of gives you like the sliding scale of it. All right, number 6, let me pull it up. Partner requirements. No inventory, no minimums, no quotas, no purchase requirements, no website fees, no annual fees. We believe in putting money in your pockets, not taking it out of them. Scott Thompson, president. So there's a brand that I have always bought their protein from. Now I have ours. We'll have ours. But I have to pay like $15 a month just to get wholesale prices. And so then I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, I get that charge every single month, whether I order my wholesale products or not. No website fees, no inventory. You don't have to, talking about the documentary that's on, right? Stocking up on inventory, hoping you sell it. No, you just give someone your link and it's shipped directly to them. You do not have to. The only thing you ever have to purchase, ever, is what you personally want to use. It's the only thing. So number 6 is partner requirements. Number 7, a brand made by the brand partners. This is something that Melissa said to me on our very first call together. And then through my travels with them, Scott likes to always bring that up, is like, this is a brand made by the brand, right? And it's so true. You know, it's kind of like we'll be on our if you've been with Bellame, you have witnessed this, that you've been on a call and someone has a suggestion, boom, it's on the website the next day, right? Comp plan. I was allowed to submit all of my ideas for a comp plan. And a lot of them, like 75% of them, were put into effect. And I'm like, dang, like, talk about being heard, right? Product names. We get to vote on product names. Every single lipstick color, every lip stain color, our illuminating polish, our Dream Luxe, everything was named by partner, right? That's pretty cool. I can hold that illuminating polish and know that I got a year's worth of free illuminating polish because I submitted that name, right? It's pretty cool to be able to build this brand together. So number 7, a brand made by the brand partners. Number 8, gotta say, is the travel. I remember when I first started talking to Melissa and Scott, and I was like, what are your dream locations? And Scott's over here like, I want to take our top people on a jet to da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, heck yeah, like sign me up, right? So these are some of the places, and I'm probably forgetting something, but Cancun, Fort Worth, Las Vegas, Gatlinburg, Napa, Atlanta Beach, Oklahoma, Jackson Hole, Denver, a lot of secret locations that I can't tell you about that I've been to. And this is during like the last how long has been while like travel has been kind of delayed, if you know what I mean. So the travel and being able to, and you know how they say you don't really travel for free, but you do, because you can earn your stay, you can earn, and most of the time we always try and go to all-inclusive resort, so you're earning your food, then you also earn travel credits. Last week, I got my deposit of like $1,500 for my travel credits for Cancun, right? So it's pretty awesome. So upcoming, Cancun, and these are all trips. All of these are on the table that you can earn now. Every single one of these. Cancun, Fort Worth, Bahamas, Paris, and secret locations. Okay. So all of these, I'm going to Paris. Kind of told Kenneth, I was like, you know, I won't plan our future babies around a lot of things, but Paris might be one of them. So just saying, a lot of travel. And also, I do want to point on this because actually, I had someone message me this once, and I never thought of it this way before. Someone messaged me saying that they could not do what I do because they couldn't travel as much or be away from that family that much. Everything's optional. You are never required to go to anything. So if you don't want to travel or you don't want to leave your family, you do not have to. If you don't feel comfortable, especially with how the world is now, these are all optional. So don't think that like you see us going all these places and traveling and you don't. I mean, a lot of people want that life, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people just want to be home with their families and they've done all that, right? It's optional. So I definitely wanted to throw that out there too. All right. So number 9, I'm almost done. So I talked about how I had not only looked into social selling companies, but I'd also looked into a brick and mortar like Chick-fil-A and a few other brick and mortars. So business in a box. So whenever I was making my decision, I was like, okay, I could start this company. I could do this. My brain's always like, let's do this company. Let's do this, right? So Crystal says, yeah, or take your family with you. You can, take your family based on talk to your partner about that. But okay, business in a box. So you literally, and like I said, my family has come from a business. My parents have owned a chain of furniture stores in North Carolina, the home of furniture, for 37 years. So I've seen it all. I grew up in it. I didn't go to daycare. I went to the store, right? I didn't babysit. I worked at the store. That's why whenever I had my son, that was the very first diaper I ever changed because I was always, if I needed money, I would work at my parents' store. So a lot goes into a business, whether it's digital or if it's in person or, whatever, right? So marketing, tech team, graphic design, all of this, like I'm not gonna go through and read it all, but every single thing in a business, whenever I was like weighing my options, I didn't want to have to hire all this. I didn't want to have to figure out all the marketing and even the customer service alone. We don't deal with customer service. When someone messages me and it has a customer service thing, and it's usually like, it's not even product related because $37, remember that? I just say, hi, can you email hello@bellame.com and CC me on it so I can make sure that it's handled, and they do it all and they handle everything. It's not me, right? And so all the stuff that goes into a business, and then you're not over here paying $200,000 out in inventory, you're just making it in, right? You're not having to worry about, are you losing money here or leaking money here, or if this person shows up for work today. You are your boss, you are the business, and it is literally a box handed to you, and it is up to you what you do to it. So that is number 9. Number 10, and I'm gonna go through this really quickly because I said 45 minutes, but who was I kidding? We were late 5 minutes because of the malfunction. But number 10 is the comp plan. There's a whole, if you go on wearebellame.com and go to compensation plan, all of this is there. So I'm just gonna go through it really quick for those of you who are interested in the money side of it. But we have level bonuses, which means that, for example, Allie's my level 1. If she sells $5,000 in CV 1 month, I get 10% of that. That's pretty crazy, right? So we get paid level bonuses. We also get generations. This is the whole thing explained in the video, but our generation is a much higher breakout than a lot of companies that are out there. And so it's not even our first rank, it's actually our 3rd leadership rank, which is not like what our 5th, 6th rank that it breaks out at. And so if you know what that means, you know this is a huge deal. Look at the video on We Are Bellame if you want more information. We have title bonuses for director, senior director, and executive director. Leadership bonuses. I do want to pause on this one because this is something that a lot of companies have. You hit a rank, you get a one-time bonus, right? You never get that again. But with our comp plan, every quarter that you maintain, you get that bonus every single quarter. So with the new presidential requirements, I'm pretty much gonna be presidential until I leave this earth. I've already said that a couple times. So that means I'm going to be able to get $6,000 every quarter. That's $24,000 a year going forward, right? So it's a pretty cool bonus structure just for maintaining your rank. So like I said, we used to have a former bonus structure where it was 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Now I just want to show you what can happen at the top rank over a 10-year period. Like I said, At the very beginning, disclaimer, we do not guarantee income because two people can come in and have the exact same tools, the exact same hours in the day. One person could get this and one person doesn't, right? And it's because of what you put into it and the fire in your belly and all that kind of stuff. And so leadership bonuses. We also have introduction bonuses every time you enroll somebody. We have pool shares, which is pretty awesome. And I meant to talk about this in timing, but I don't even have a slide for this because I need to go back to that, but I'm not going to. We are in founding right now. So we have founding starts this month, next month, and then goes through the end of the year where you can be a founder of this company. We've opened it back up. I was one of the original founders of this company. Now we're opening up that pool that you get paid a share of the quarter for maintaining ranks. So that's pretty awesome. Get with the partner who invited you to this, and they'll give you more information about all of that. We have milestone bonuses that teach you as you come in what you need to do, getting your customers, getting your partners. Like if you want to build, here's how you build. We also have all the training and all the stuff on the back end for you as well. So recognition, that's a huge one too. We have flowers that are sent out for a lot of the ranks. We have more than tonight, but we have platinum earrings, diamond earrings that you get when you hit platinum. We now have a presidential ring that we get whenever we hit presidential, and awards and recognition. So you are rewarded for the activity and for what you do. I think recognition is a huge thing and something that I try and focus on with our team, because you want to recognize people for what they're doing and what they're bringing, right? So I'm gonna wrap this up, going really fast. I think I spent more time on my story than I was planning to, but like I said, I think it was the first time I've ever shared that and for public knowledge, right? So how to achieve presidential. So just real quick, whenever I hit presidential, you had to have 12 separate teams. Okay, now you need four teams. So this is how you hit the top rank. So like I said, this call is for our business builders. So you need the 250,000 in volume and then 80,000 outside your main leg. And then you need 4 teams, right? So if I can do 12, I promise you, it is so doable that you can do 4. If you're considering, screenshot this and look at it later. But here's kind of some of my tips, right? And I feel like some of this might be cut off, maybe. But how to achieve presidential. Follow the systems, do the training. We have the training for you. I have a huge plan for October. I'm so excited for of basically re-onboarding everybody and onboarding everybody new coming in, right? So October is gonna be a really good month. Be the leader that you want, lead from the front, be on the leaderboards, show up to every call, do those things. Show up consistently, touch your business every day. Even if that's just for a few minutes, touch your business every day. Work smarter, not harder. We have third-party tools for you to use. We have shortcuts. We have, and not shortcuts, meaning you do this to get to the top. It's a shortcut. We have shortcuts to make things easier for you, right? Like the We Are Bellame website. We have those things for you to take advantage of. Treat it like a business. Set business hours. Do the do, right? This is a business, okay? If I opened up a Chick-fil-A, I would be working just as hard, probably making half the money, right? So it's a business. Treat it like one. Personal development. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And I have witnessed that too many times in my life. Even like as president of my sorority in college, you can get burnout when a lot of people need you, right? Fill your cup up. Trust me. And we have a lot of tools and resources for that as well. Focus on others. Shift your focus. If your focus is only on, I believe in setting vision, setting your goals, achieve, believe it, speak it, achieve it. All of that, right? But if you're only focused on me, you're not going to get anywhere. You need to focus on changing people's lives. You need to focus on who you can help and look at somebody and say, okay, what value do I have to offer them to get them to their goals? Them getting to their goals, you're going to naturally rise because we rise by lifting others. Be passionate, exude your commitment level. Anybody on your social media, anyone who knows you in person, anybody out there should know that you have that I'm going to the top, who's coming with me attitude. Seriously, I feel like that's a huge key in this business. If you don't have that, if people are wondering, are you serious about your business? If there's 10 people lined up in the room that sell the same thing, why would they choose you? You need to exude that, right? Be passionate and do that in person and social media, right? Never give up. Business is a roller coaster. My parents right now that have a brick and mortar, they are dealing with a roller coaster of everything that's going on in the world, right? Something that used a product, custom product that they used to get in 6 weeks, like a custom sofa, can now take 30 to 40 weeks for a sofa, right? So they're losing half their clientele. So they're having to pivot in business. Business is a roller coaster. I don't care which one you're in. So never give up and kind of go into it knowing that there's going to be roller coasters, and it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react to it. Okay. And then have an attitude of gratitude. If everything that you have, if you start being thankful for where you're at in your life and your business and what God has given you, then it can make your mind completely shift, and what you have feels like enough, right? So have an attitude of gratitude. So that, and I promised that in my graphics that I would share how I got to the top. So I had to go over that real quick, just some tips. But more information is on wearebellame.com. There's a comp plan overview for all of you research people like me that wants to literally learn everything. That's on there. If you get overwhelmed or you just want to learn as you earn, trust me, that is okay too. You do not have to know the comp plan in and out. You do not have to know the products in and out. That's why we have a whole portal in our back office that has every product and all the information, right? It's going to have the starter kit options. It's going to have a video about how to do that whole process. You're going to have the weekly call links. We're going to be doing a call every Tuesday night with a different leader. It's going to have Bellame Body 101, since that's kind of our newest line. And so it's going to have more information on that and more, because that's kind of like what is on there now is just kind of like the base, and we're going to be building on it. So with all of this, please reach out to the partner who introduced you to Bellame. Do not reach out to me. If you reach out to me, I will do what I always do and say, my first thing I ask is, are you working with a partner who introduced you to the brand? We have mutual friends. I'll be like, have you talked to them? Because we're tried here, and we don't play games, right? We always send people back to the person that introduced them. So if you have questions, go to that person. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. And like I said, we'll be here hopefully every Tuesday. We'll let you know if anything changes, but I hope tonight me kind of being transparent and sharing my story shows that this decision to be here was not made lightly, that a lot of thought and prayer and research and interviews with Melissa went into this, and how much I truly believe in this brand, how I've been here for all the product launches, and I know that there's good product behind it, right? But then also that we're just getting started. And I don't say that in like a, people say, we're just getting started. No, we really are. We have less than 1,000 builders in this company. Okay. That is like, we are baby. We are a baby brand. And the people who are really wanting to take it to here, they're not even here yet, or they're here and their fire is getting ignited right now. And now's the time. So I don't know that I can convince you any more than this, because this is me pouring out my heart, but thank you. And like I said, get back to the partner who invited you. And as I always say, the best is yet to come. Thank you guys.